This WAFLW live stream is proudly brought to you by Optus, proud naming rights partner of the WAFL, and WAFLW, Bupa, proud sponsor of WA football. And the West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams.
Are you ready? Ready to go? Are you ready? Ready for more? Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, are you ready? Ready and now to keep going, and I can't stop. Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my. Are you ready? Are you ready?
A very good afternoon and welcome to Mandurah in the wonderful Peel region of Western Australia. This afternoon, David Gray's Arena hosts round 13 of the WAFLW season for 2019. And the Peel Thunder hosting the Claremont Tigers. It's fifth taking on fourth. And Peel looking to try and register just their second win of the season. Well, Claremont, they're trying to find a little bit of form heading towards the final series in 2019 with just 3 rounds of the home and away season remaining. Matt Chechens is my name, here to call all of the action in this big game today. And right after this short break, we will preview today's game. That is Peel taking on Claremont, and welcome my co-commentator, Emily Johnston. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, the opening bounce, round 13 WAFLW season for 2019.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
There's a high ball.
Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, well, didn't want to keep her just maybe for a while. You're the lady in a hurdling. Well, I feel that day.
Yeah, incredibly exciting. It's obviously a new chapter in my career, in my football career, but I'm incredibly excited to be here and a part of this football club. And I've been really impressed by the professionalism, the level of respect that they've treated me through this process, and I guess the core values that the club have. The product that we're producing now for AFLW has really grown over 3 years, but the next 3 to 5 years is going to be incredible, and some really talented girls coming through, and I can't wait to actually work alongside them. And I felt like I'd be a part of the family here.
Welcome back to David Gray's Arena here in Mandurah. The home team, Peel, warming up to the goal to our left. Taking on Claremont today, their season very much alive. They come in to this round 13 contest after a 2-point win over East Fremantle back in round 10. Was backed up last week, however, by a 52-point loss to Swan Districts, where they managed just the 1 goal from 4 scoring shots. And they'll be looking to improve on that definitely today against Peel. Well, a young list, but yet to win at home so far in 2019 are the Thunder. They've lost their last 4 since a thumping win over Swan Districts back in round 6. Well, Peel out of contention for the finals, and as we welcome my co-commentator today, Emily Johnston, however, more game time into a very young playing list.
Yeah, excellent opportunity for these girls now. They've got something to prove to finish off the season, try and get their second win, and gives a chance for Adam Dancy to really just get some more run into these legs and start building for next year. Obviously, they're not going to make the finals, but it is a really good opportunity to blood some new underage players and get them set up as best they can for next year.
As we see the Claremont lineup going through their paces at the moment, inconsistent season, however, their aspirations of even a top 2 finish still alive. Emily, Subiaco sitting on top, 7 wins, 3 losses. Claremont come into this 5-4, but with a game in hand. The Tigers take on Subiaco next week, but it could be their poor percentage, just 66%, which, no pun intended, could come back to bite them.
Yeah, I think they've lost the close ones, or lost big, and they've won the close ones this year. So they'll be looking to get a bit of momentum, looking for a win against Peel today, and then, as I said, getting some momentum going into that back end of the season and then into the finals.
Now, a game that on paper seems vastly different, it might appear to actually in reality be a closer game. Claremont just 6 goals more total throughout the season than Peel. That's 31 goals kicked to 25. But if you have a look at Peel, they're one of the best first quarter teams in the WAFLW. 9 games they've kicked 14 of their total 25 goals in the first term. It's just the last 3 quarters that are letting them down. Now, they've only gone goalless in 1 of their 9 first quarters. So they start the game very, very competitively. Claremont, on the other hand, are a terrible first quarter team. Can you put your finger on why they're such slow starters? They've, through their 9 games, have kicked just 7 goals in the opening terms and have had 3 scoreless opening terms.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think that's been a bit of a feature of the Claremont side for a number of years. It's always got off to a slow start. I don't think it's anything to do with their warm-up. They do a comprehensive warm-up, and Dan Cadlick down there does a great job with the girls. It's just get them switched on. They have struggled to score this year, but they've made a few changes, putting McDonald, Bonza and Garston up front and switching Dickey and White down back for this game. So see if that can open up a few more scoring shots.
Now, as if Peel's job wasn't hard enough, their second leading goal kicker in Bartlett's not in the lineup today. She's kicked 5 goals. Breslin leading their cause with 6 goals throughout the season. Actually kicked 4 goals against the Tigers back in round 3. So a good forward to kick to in the forward line. But again, it's just a matter of stringing a 4-quarter effort together for the young Peel team. Yeah,
absolutely. And looking wider than that and not just relying on Taylor Breslin to kick those goals. I think she was named as fullback, so it might be a bit hard for her to score a few goals, so they will be looking for another avenue. Hopefully Ebony Hardy can get her hands on the footy and lead up, and then the little ones at her feet trying to crumb and work off her there.
Not tipping Breslin to kick the first goal then, obviously, from fullback today, unless we can see. Look, perfect conditions at the moment, Emily. It is a late bounce today. We've had some junior football on the oval throughout the day. The playing surface looks a little soft underfoot, however.
Yeah, look, there's a few little brown patches, and I think it's had plenty of foot out. I think the under-12s school sport finals were on today, so has had plenty of footy, and I think it's the same as any league ground at this time of the year. They have lots of footy played on them. There's so many teams that play on them, and they just don't get a chance. But hopefully it doesn't take into too much, affect the girls too much today.
All right, so round 13 of the WAFLW season about to get underway. Can Peel stop this losing slide at the moment, or will it be the Tigers trying to gain further momentum? As we said, they've got the league-leading Subiaco outfit next week. Now, Peel will kick to the right of us. Not much of a breeze to speak of. In fact, it might be a bit of a stiff breeze blowing towards our commentary position here. And the umpire with the ball aloft just waiting for the officials on the scoreboard and also the timers. And we'll see how the Peel Thunder can get off to this quick start in which they've been quite successful throughout the season. As the umpire still waiting on the siren, which now finally sounds. So Claremont kicking to the left of screen as the ball goes up and decisively one down by Barndon. Can Peel get the first clearance? Not at this stage. A little hand pass out the side comes the way of Arnott. Her kick was smothered. Good strong tackle from Laura Pugh. She's starting on the ball. Is that surprising to you, Emily?
Not at all. She's done a great amount of work with those Claremont midfielders, and having M. Bonzes playing forward as well, so it opens up that spot for Laura Pugh to really have an impact early.
Positive signs for Peel as they get the first entry inside 50, and a snap for goal is going to roll up towards the square, and strolling into the open goal is Bailey Malloy and slams through her 5th goal of 2019, the ultimate start for Peel Thunder.
That's a great start. I think I've been lucky enough to commentate Peel's last 3 games, and 3 games in a row they've kicked goals in, I think, the first 3 minutes of those games.
There we go.
Awesome start from Peel.
So really came out of nothing, and they might try and capitalise on that good early work from Abby Barnden that had a decisive whack on the footy. They managed to butter up well with the tackles, and then they get that first clearance and it results in a goal.
Yeah, just moving the ball down into their forward line, and I think Ebony Hardy was at the bottom of that, and then the ball just goes over the back and have runners smart enough to run on.
So one straight. It's taken under a minute for Peel Thunder at the moment. The cellar dwellers. Could there be a boil over this afternoon? Again, one down by the left hand of Barnden. It's going to be tight in the clinches. In goes Arnott. Feeds it out towards the number 2 in Orme. She gets about 20 metres with that clearing kick. Going one way, then the other was Garstone. So the Tigers enter inside 50 for the first time, but it's going to be rebound footy at the moment. Spearing ball there for Peel. Looking towards Rowley. It was over her head. Back towards the middle of the ground now. Orme's had her hands on the football in the early stages, kicking up to a contest, and no contest in the end as Veria takes an uncontested chest mark. So good early signs from Peel. They're not looking to stagnate the ball movement at this stage, Emily.
No, not at all. Just moving it nice and quickly, willing to play on and kind of catch the Claremont defenders and midfielders off guard.
Great tackle laid on Brooke White there. Jars the footy loose. Peel trying to apply a bit of forward line pressure. Well done there from Carter. That affected the kick. And the ball will go over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. So the Thunder will look to load up. This is Rowley. No one on the mark. Looks to just pop it in towards the pocket. A good, strong, contested mark by our only goal kicker in Bailey Malloy. So she's kicked 5 on the season. Is this distance within range?
Should be, but the wind might trouble her a little bit. She just has to put it out to the left of that left goal post there.
So a stiff breeze will bring this kick from left to right through the goal post as she comes in. It looks a beautiful kick off the boot. How's the start from Peel Thunder? And in particular, Bailey Malloy, she's gone bang twice, one into an open goal and a polished finish from a good, strong contested mark.
Yeah, that was a fantastic mark from Bailey Malloy there. She's not the tallest or the biggest player, but definitely used her hands, and the Claremont defenders just couldn't get their hands on it. A bit scrambled down there, the Claremont defenders, just not organised because Peel are just getting that ball in too quick, and really smart play from, not sure who it was that kicked it in from the boundary there, but really smart play to just get
Rowley.
it on. And, Rowley there. Just don't let the Claremont defenders set up.
You did mention her height, 164 centimetres, so quite diminutive, and but playing taller, obviously, than what the centimetres indicate. Pugh, she's ripped off the hand pass, and that allowed the turnover. So Peel looking really good at the moment. Now, you can see the players there just slippery underfoot. That was Duffy that just lost her feet at the wrong time. So the clearing kick will come now from Smeding, but it's going to come back the way of Peel now. So kicking up towards centre half back. Well done, Hongel. She read the fall of the football beautifully. So she kicks up towards a 2-on-2. Bit of an awkward bouncing ball there for Bonza. She overran the football. Peel try and get numbers. Bonza with a second effort. That was brilliant. Just floats the kick up, high towards centre half forward. Ball's brought down at ground level there. Orme gets in, chops off the hand pass. Back towards Colgate. Colgate hurriedly kicks up to a 1-on-1. Again, this bouncing ball under the slippery surface is proving hard to gather at the moment. Good mark.
Rally again.
It was, and the ball hung so long in the air. However, the kick leaves a lot to be desired. Upcoming and winning, maybe possibly a free kick by Malloy. Should have been holding the ball, but the umpire didn't think so. So it comes out now. Bouncing ball for Bonza. Bonza just recedes a little bit of ground with a hand pass towards Arnott. Arnott tries to step around the would-be tackler and couldn't do so. So the clearing kick for Peel, only as far as Laura Pugh. The Docker fires it off a hand pass, bit of a hand hospital one at that for Valentini. No prior opportunity, and might be giving a bit of a rueful look towards Laura Pugh with that hand pass.
Yeah, Laura Pugh had another player on the just over her head there, over Valentini's head, so wouldn't have minded seeing a longer hand pass.
So the ball just tumbles out in front of us here. Anderson running out of room. So a ball in. We've gone 5 1/4 minutes, and it's 2 straight. The Thunder, one of the best first quarter teams in the competition, and the Tigers find themselves up against it. So a shallow throw in. One down with 2 hands there by Barnden. To no advantage for her team. Dumped in the tackle was Orme and holding the ball. So the tenacity of Peel is really evident at this stage, Emily.
Yeah, really good. And something I think they've been missing for the last couple of weeks. But Adam Dancy will be very happy with their efforts early.
So Barnden, bit of an awkward spinning kick up towards half forward. Going to be intercepted there by Smeding. Kick only goes as far as the Peel's number 1 in Grieve. She's slung off her kick, but that's that chaos ball right on the paint of 50. Now, if Peel got numbers over the top, guess who? It's Malloy. Too far out to score this time. So she's had 3 shots resulting in 2 goals, but they're going to mop up at the back, the Tigers. So a bit of a dangerous kick coming out from fullback, and they converge on that ball. The umpire swallowed the whistle at the moment, and he's going to pay a push in the back. So it's going to go the way of the Tigers, the Thunder, and they're going to waste no time again. This is Dowson, looks to just lower the eyes and centre. Coming over there and intercepting was Arnott, so she can get the clearing kick. Back up towards the middle of the ground. Claremont trying to get numbers towards this contest. This is Pugh. Pugh, good vision. Just looks to just square the ball into the corridor. If it sits kindly, it doesn't. And again, Peel Thunder getting numbers, closing down. So they're repelling everything through the middle of the ground at the moment. Peel, what can Pugh do now? Does well to gather under some heavy attention from the Thunder. Bit of a high ball, bit of a chaos ball in towards the middle from Urseg. Thunder again bringing it down to ground level. They move it through now out towards the number 3 in Arnott. Hangs the kick up. Good defensive work there from Breslin, but she runs into trouble. Does get the effective kick away. Bonza, can she gather? She can't. The Thunder, soccer off the ground. In goes Pugh. She's had plenty of possessions at the moment. Fed it off to a teammate in Valentini. Chestmark was dropped at centre half forward. Crummers at the moment now. They've got a player over the back, and this is Timmers. She can run into the open goal and misses to the right-hand side, but better signs now, Emily, for the Tigers. They seem to have got their game plan a little bit more sorted.
They're getting it forward, but it's a scrambled kick forward. There's no direction in the kick. They're probably panicking that they're 2 goals down so early, but just want to see them steady and hit up a target up forward rather than scramble that ball in and hope that someone's at the fall of it.
And the Thunder are reading those stray kicks, particularly on the defensive side of the middle of the ground and across half back. So the Thunder will look to bring it in. Running a measure is Breslin. As we said, the leading goal kicker finds herself at full back this afternoon. So Valentini, she's been effective. That's a lovely kick. And they finally use the ball to Bonza. Now there's an open goal square. She looks to just go for that sort of terra firma ahead of her, but getting back was Veria, playing the goalkeeper role. Clears the defensive line and out of play. And Laura Pugh will take the resulting free kick. Now, she could almost be up to double digits in possessions in the early stage of this term. It's only 8.5 minutes old. So a nice little chiseled kick up towards Bonza, who just sharks it. Vacant square. How will it bounce? It bounces true. So an opportunistic goal, and Bonza gets a lucky bounce of the football that sort of bounced horizontally and not on end over end, because that could have gone either way, an off break or a leg break, but it ends up through the big sticks, and just what the doctor ordered for Claremont.
Yeah, definitely just what they needed. Smarter entry there from Laura Pugh, really using that last touch, or last possession out of bounds rule to her advantage, and trying to actually hit up a target rather than just bang it and hoping for the best. So much better signs from Claremont in the last couple of minutes, but would like to see Peel keep up their pressure, and I'm sure they'll be down their end soon.
So 4 goals on 2019 for Bonza, and a great addition coming over from Swan Districts this year.
Yeah, fantastic addition, not only on the field but off the field as well. She was voted into the leadership group in her first year at Claremont, so really good from her, and excited to have her a part of the club.
So the ball back in the middle, 2 straight to 1-1. How will Peel respond now? Again, they're starting to dominate the hit-outs through Barnden, but it's going to be the Tigers who extract the football onto the run there of Orme. Orme kicks up to a vacant half-forward line. Kindly bouncing ball there for the Thunder defender, who gets the hooking kick around the corner and out of bounds. So, again, they turn the ball over with a stray errant kick coming out from defence in the last touch rule. So, maybe the intended target of Rowley, and it was just a little wide of that intended target. have you rated the start to Orm's game? She seems to be finding the footy early.
Yeah, finding plenty of it. Would like to see her use her pace a bit more. A couple of times she's not attacked the ball when she's been in front and waited for the contact or tried to cut back inside, but just like to see her collect and accelerate away from the contest.
The thoughts of Emily Johnson. Matt Chetchin's calling all the action here from David Gray's Arena. Peel Thunder looking for their first home win. Acrobatic work in the ruck from Barndon. She's really starting to assert her dominance. Now here come Claremont now through the right boot of Scandrich and kick up towards the pocket. Trying to track that footy was Spanos. Ran out of tarmac in their left forward pocket. And the ball just trickles over the paint for a boundary throw-in. And Peel will breathe a sigh of relief. They can get numbers back now behind the ball. And we'll see how they can defend this stoppage. They have had the lead for the majority of this game. The first goal of the afternoon came within the first minute. That's a longer boundary throw-in to the advantage of Claremont. Now Pugh loads up from all of 45. Ball just holds up in the breeze at the moment. Tigers will want to try and get maybe a snap or a sock out of this pack. They finally extract the footy, and the snap across the body from Garstone just scrapes in for a minor score. So 1-2. They trail the Thunder by 4 points. 11.5 travelled in this opening term.
Claremont have set up quite well here in front of the footy, so watching Peel in their kick-ins in the warm-up, they'll go nice and wide and really hug the boundary.
Absolutely nothing in the middle of the ground at the moment, so the Thunder go wide and no marks taken. Again, brought down at ground level. Can the Thunder get something coming through the middle? Not this time. The Tigers get another chance. Pugh, surely that's her 10th touch. Beautiful pass.
Better.
Just lowered the eyes.
Much
Could
better.
have easily blazed away instead. Picked off a teammate there in Timmers, who takes the chest mark. In turn, a beautiful spearing ball out to the lead there of Crystal Spanos, who has been a goal kicker throughout the year. She's kicked 2. Emily, you'll know her better than me. Within range here.
I'd hope so.
Yep.
For her. Might just be testing her a little bit.
So the ball will be taken from right to left of the goalpost, and it just hangs up in the teeth of goal, offhand, so that mark wasn't paid. The kick coming out of defence from Little was smothered and somehow sharked and goaled. So the Tigers, through Garstone, I think it was, a smothered kick coming out from fullback, and she grabs it, and the Tigers, Emily, 2 ideal opportunistic goals.
Yeah, very much. Just that constant forward pressure. Spanos didn't have the kick, but Claremont had set up at the drop zone there, and then Garstone just sharked on that footy very nicely.
So unfortunately for Little, just obviously that awkward bouncing ball, and then the kick was smothered coming out, and Garstone pounced. So 2-2, 14, and in the blink of an eye, the Tigers have led now for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, and the goals for the Tigers have come through 2 players that have played either in the midfield or in the back line for the majority of the season. So those changes seem to be working at this stage. Would like to see Peel win a clearance here and reassert themselves on this competition.
Ball back up in the middle. That's McDonald in the ruck. Just retreating there was Valentini. Hand pass smothered. Thunder get another entry inside 50. In towards full forward through the hands of the Tigers defender. Now a bit of a foot race. Peel are the ones that get numbers. That hand pass just over the head of the intended target of Innes. Now, is that in the back to the defender? No. Oh, he's paid holding the ball. So, could have easily have gone either way there, Emily, with a push in the back.
Yeah, I'm surprised that wasn't a push in the back, but with a legal tackle, that was definitely holding the ball.
So, a poor kick coming out. So, that'll allow another opportunity for Peel. Or onto the chest there of the player on rushing there for Peel. That was Hardy. Couldn't take the mark. So, ball to be won here for the Tigers' defence. Scrambled forward, long high kick from Duffy, up towards the kickoff line, and another contested mark taken by Peel. This time, it's Tanisha Anderson. So good body work, just ushered her opponent under the ball and took a strong chest mark.
Excellent body work, and Peel had 2 players at that contest as well. I'm not sure where the other, to one Tigers player, I'm not sure where the other Tigers player was there, but proves costly in the end.
So Tanisha Anderson, her first goal of the season. From Daly Up Dockers Football Club, and impressed with her bit of body work there. And even though the goal umpire doing a lot of footwork to the left, manages to scrape it through for her first goal. Yeah,
the umpires do a great job. I believe one of them got a bit of a shout out a couple of weeks ago, and they showed it at training. It went down as a bit of a hit. So
there you go.
They do a fantastic job, and it's good to see them come back week after week.
So it's end to end at the moment. almost from our commentary position, Emily, it feels like a game of tennis at the moment because there's goals from right to left and no team really asserting their dominance as yet. Now, the Thunder, 3 straight 18. They're making better use of their forward 50 entries at the moment, and they're starting to dominate the clearances. And that was a good, strong tackle there laid by Valentini, but the ball travels up towards centre half forward for the Tigers. Pugh with a bit of tunnel ball off towards a teammate. It's going to end up in the hands of Wrigley. She's set upon by Bonza. Just manages to get her kick away up towards right half forward. Strong work there from Peel was Hardy. They get a kick around the corner here to Peel through Thayer. Sliding in there was Hongul. And they're going to wrap up the ball carry there in Major. And there's no prior opportunity. So a ball up. Important 2 minutes of the term here. Just 2 minutes remaining. And Peel clinging to a 4-point lead. Yeah,
both teams just really close to that ball up there. The umpire didn't give him a lot of time to set up, and neither really gained advantage from that.
So Bonza leads the foot race, cops one in the middle of the back. The umpire's letting them play. Stacks on the mill, and another ball up. So very good closing speed from McKinley there from Peel Thunder. Impressed with her attack on the football. Now finally Claremont get a rare win in the hit-outs from McDonald. So they kick forward now up from the agency of Bonza. Again, the numbers favour Peel at the moment. They're reading that fall of the footy well at the moment. Leaving a handy hand there with Shrubsall. Can they extract the footy? They can this time. Left-hand hand pass from Carter. They kick it in towards the middle of the ground. Still 1 minute and 15 seconds for either team to hit the scoreboard again. Possibly a kicking in danger there. Now they're Peel players in a lot of territory and all alone. Malloy, now she's kicked 2. Not sure how she's found so much space. Burns off an opponent from the pocket and blazes it out of bounds on the full. But the Tigers will breathe a sigh of relief because the leading goal kicker this afternoon had a lot of space to herself.
A lot of space. Great closing speed from Jess Lowe. They came from nowhere to affect that kick and make Bailey Malloy hurry up a little bit.
So the ball's brought back in through the hands of McDonald off to her opponent in the ruck in Barndon. The Tigers with the clearing kick now. 35 seconds remain in the term. You would favour the Thunder maybe to hit the scoreboard here if they can get clean possession, and they won't on this occasion as the floodlights start to be lit here at David Gray's Arena. Perfect conditions at the moment as the ball comes up. 1 down by the Tigers and another stalemate. Shrubsall at the coalface. Couldn't get the hard ball so they hand it off to the umpires, and you would suggest that there'll be no addition to the scoreboard. And not many would have picked, but Peel Thunder will go into the first change with a 4-point edge as the siren sounds. 3 straight to Claremont's 2-2-14. Peel Thunder getting the first 2 goals of the afternoon through Bailey Malloy, and she's proved to be a live wire up forward and could have easily have added to that total just minutes ago. The other goal kicker for the team with their nose in front is Tanisha Anderson. The single goal kickers, Emily Bonza and Sarah Garstone, with a late goal for the Tigers. Don't go anywhere. When we come back at David Gray's Arena, we'll see how the second term plays out. It's currently the Thunder by 4 points.
It's great to be back in the West. I've obviously been over in Sydney for a couple of years, and to be home in the nice weather and even better in the blue and gold is fantastic. Yeah, I was an inaugural part of the Giants squad in the first year, so been over there for the last 3 years and I guess experienced what it's like to be part of a new team and building something from the ground. So we've got time now, we're in the competition, we can build towards something really special, and I think that comes off the back of the first couple of years and just creating somewhere that everyone wants to be and play some good footy.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
There's a high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, well, didn't want to keep her just maybe for a while. You're the lady in a hurdling. Well, I feel that day.
Matt Chechens and Emily Johnston here at David Gray's Arena in Mandurah, welcoming you back to this round 13 contest of the WAFLW season for 2019. The cellar dwellers at the moment playing anything but cellar dwellers. They lead Claremont 3 straight 18 to 2-2 14, and we were treated to 5 goals. We haven't seen that many times throughout the 2019 season, Emily.
No, I'm not sure we've seen that many goals kicked in a quarter all year, except in a one-sided game maybe. But really exciting footy. Just each team just wrangling momentum at different stages. Obviously, Peel early.
Yep.
Claremont had it for about 7 minutes, got their goals, and then Peel had another one at the end.
One of the major ball winners around the ground, definitely Laura Pugh, double-digit disposals in that first term, and she's been the driving force, but ably assisted and keeping the Tigers within touching distance, along with Adele Arnott and Emily Bonza also winning a lot of the contested football.
Yeah, like they get a lot of ball every week, and Bonza with her strong body uses it quite well. Would like to see Adele's getting a lot of it, just use it a bit better, hit up some targets and not just blaze away.
Right on cue there we saw Laura Pugh, just beautiful vision in that opening term. And if you have a look at Peel Thunder, making better use or cleaner use of their forward 50 entries. They've kicked 3 straight this afternoon, albeit one out of bounds on the full. But at the moment, the Tigers just have no answer for Bailey Malloy, who's kicked the first 2 goals of this game and could have almost had a third. Yeah,
I think she's not getting the attention that she probably deserves. She's had an amazing first quarter and would like to see her go again. Claremont definitely need to have a think about her and how they can stop her influence.
Abby Barnden, the ruck for Peel at the moment, is just dominating the hit-outs. It will just be a matter of whether Peel can capitalise on the first use of the footy in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Claremont have thrown Sophie McDonald in there, who hasn't done a lot of rucking in her short football career. So Abby Barnden just making the most of that and supported
there she
by
is,
Duffy.
right on cue, right under the coach's nose.
Yeah.
So just left the apple on the teacher's desk as well as Barnden. But look, I've been impressed with her effort throughout at the moment, and Claremont just butchering the ball a little across half forward in their forward 50 entries.
Yeah, definitely. The ones, when they do get it in, it's those precise kicks and hitting up a target, but butchering it from the wing to half forward is just not going to work. Yep. And if you keep doing it, the ball's just going to keep coming back. And
yeah, we made a point pre-game about Peel being the first quarter specialist. They really now is a wonderful opportunity to capitalise on this early good work.
Yeah, they just need to focus on this next 18 minutes, not worry about the rest of the game, but just focus on this 18 minutes and get the job done in this second quarter to build for the second half.
The coaching move of putting Taylor Breslin behind the ball at fullback, how have you rated that move? I mean, obviously Malloy's stepping up in her absence in forward 50, but it looks to be a stroke of genius early stages.
Yeah, it is. I think a more natural position for Breslin. She often plays backline and rarely plays up forward. But I think because they don't have to rely on her and giving more people opportunity, she can get the job done down there. And the way Claremont are kicking it in, Breslin can just intercept the ball and read the play, and that's what she does so well, and that's why she's such a damaging player. So
3 straight to 2-2. Now, these teams have met previously. This is their 3rd meeting of the season, but back in round 3, it was the Tigers by just 3 points. So Peel have shown that they can stay with the Tigers, albeit earlier in the season. And then the Tigers recorded a 29-point win back in round 8. How will it pan out? Well, we're about to find out as the second term is underway, and we'll look to have a reset from the Bullseyes as we resume this. If you've just joined us, you missed 5 goals combined in the opening term. And Breslin, another hit out. Can the Thunder capitalise? They'll be kicking to the left of screen, and they do that now through Freeman. An early touch for her in this term, out towards half forward and disguising that smack towards the boundary line is Brooke White, but not paid as deliberate, so we'll have
Bit
another
of
ball
experience on her side there. She might have known what she was doing. But great to see Duffy first clearance of this quarter as well.
So the ball will come in. Barnden wins it down. Off towards the teammate. Little hand pass under pressure towards Carter. Carter was corralled. Now it's tackle from Pugh. Just slipped a little high. Maybe learnt that from her old man in Trev, an ex-Perth Wildcat. And gives away the free kick, but really cannot fault her performance so far this afternoon. So this is Grieve. That's a beautiful pass. 45 metres onto the chest of a teammate in Duffy. So Duffy just indicating to the umpire where she wants the mark. Now she's ushering players to get back towards the square, and that's where she goes, towards the kick-off line, but well read in defence. And the Tigers managed to take the intercepting mark. That one was from Urseg. So wasting no time. It's great to see both teams just not looking to slow the game down at the moment, Jono. They're just playing on and playing free footy at the moment.
Yeah, just want to get it on quickly. Would have liked to seen Urseg just switch the ball. She had a player free on the other side, and instead she's gone back into traffic and still managed to win it. Oh, and guess who it is?
Yeah, and it's the Thunder again, and in the goal square is Malloy, who's got her third. Now, has kicked 4 on the season coming in. She's got 3, so almost doubled her tally for the season in one game. The Tigers really need to address that at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Need someone to run with her, because I think if you give her a bit of attention, she might slow down. But really good signs from Bailey Malloy, and she's demanding a Claremont player man up on her and stay with her.
So another goal that just resulted in that forward line pressure as well. And as you said, the Tigers making an interesting decision to bring that ball broadcast side when they had options on the fat side of the ground. The ball didn't go there. Yeah,
you see it too much that just go back into traffic where we just want to switch the play and you can open up the fat side and you can transition the ball quite quickly if you use the switch effectively.
So a change on the ball now. Coming on into the ruck is Zadnik, and straight away it proves to be a good decision. Here comes Colgate, who can run to 50 but was mowed down in a tremendous chase and tackle. And almost best on ground at the moment is Abby Barnd, and that was a superb chase for a player that plays in the ruck, chasing down the more diminutive Colgate and won the free kick. So Peel try and win this contested footy at the moment. Bit of a blind hand pass over the top from Colgate, looking to make amends. Off towards Pugh. Bit of a tumbling ball up towards the paint of 50. Who wants it more at this stage? It looks to be the Thunder, juggling the possession and coming out now with a wide kick. And there's a 2-on-2 chase for the footy at the moment. Going to ground there was Hardy. Good strong work there from the Claremont player in white. And the umpire will call for the footy. So a good 50-50 contest here on the broadcast wing. So Zadnik won it down over the top, but out of play.
Great contest there between Hardy and White. Hardy would have liked to see her grab the ball, but just initiated the contact and managed to get the stoppage. So well done from both of those players.
As the ball comes back in, and Barnden won it down, but only as far there as the number 3 in Arnott. They move it out wide, and they kick down the line. Bit of a torpedo, gaining territory, a good 55 metres. Will the ball sit kindly? It won't. Just trying to track that footy there was Shelliger. Good work pre-game too to get down and get the pronunciations there.
I got them in the middle of the team chat, so I had to
that's
find someone that knew.
That's why you make the big bucks here. Thoughts of Emily Johnson, our expert, and thanks for joining us. Matt Chechen's here calling all the action from David Gray's Arena. It's the home team looking for their first win at home, and they are 10 points to the good at the moment. They look to bring the ball into the corridor. Anderson swings onto the right boot. That will be an interesting ball to mark, considering looking into the bright sunshine. The Peel player making it just look so easy. That was a superb mark from Rowley. We've seen 2 good marks from her already today. The kick hung a little too long in the air, and that's going to be intercepted by the Tigers. So they bring it out. Kicks out towards Bonza. Awkward spinning ball towards the boundary. It just sat up beautifully for the Peel player there in McKinley. McKinley kicks to a 2-on-1. That favours Claremont. They get numbers at the moment. Little left-hand hand pass coming out from Pugh. Nice little free puppies offered there from the Claremont player, but the Peel Thunder can take it away, and somehow Pugh with a smother and extracts the footy. That was superb. Peel trying to get numbers back. This is Veria. Her kick's going to be chopped off. Straight onto the chest there of Zadnik. interesting passage of play, and Zadnik just looks to just set it up and maybe stopping instead of coming through for the footy was Garstone. She does well to try and apply a little bit of forward line pressure. High hanging ball through the hands there of Zadnik, but was she impeded? Yes, said the umpire, and she's the umpire not going to pay advantage. So Zadnik started screaming towards the open goal, but it had to be brought back.
There was a Peel player streaming towards Zadnik as well, so she might have been in trouble there if it was advantage.
So Zadnik just looks to pop it up through the hands of two players. High, long, clearing kick there. Coming in with a two-handed spoil, trying to try a little bit of the Harlem Globetrotters, rather, was McKinley. And no prior, says the umpire. So a bit more of a scrappy term from what we saw in the first term. Would you agree?
Yeah, not as free-flowing as it was, but I think you want to close down. Claremont have played that a few times this year. They just close down their opposition if they're running on them too much. So we might see a little bit more of that.
So Claremont, another further forward foray at the moment, but Peel doing well to stand up at the moment. Taken without the football there was the number 12 in Garstone. No free kick forthcoming. That allows Peel to just mop up at the back. Now, interesting contest in the middle of the ground because there's nothing forward of this contest for Peel, and getting and winning the free kick. Taken without it is Malloy. Too far out to score, but she's moved it along to a teammate. This is Dowson. Dowson can have two bounces now. Screaming towards the open goal. Right foot shot goes across the face of goal. Possibly could have done better, and the Tigers dodge a bullet.
Good contest there in the middle. They've obviously given Bailey Malloy a bit more attention with two girls tackling her on that occasion. But unlucky there from Dowson. Just
and at
couldn't finish the
120
work.
metres out, just out of her range as well. But as we just see Dowson there on her haunches, just trying to gain breath. She took three bounces, and obviously very hard skill to master after knowing that someone's on your hammer. So the Tigers look to bring it in, dropping the mark there. The Tigers defender can get a sort of a semi-decent hand pass out of it. Hongel comes through. She's going to try and win the footy there. The ruck in Barndon's there on the scene as well. They managed to get it back inside 50. Bit of a scrambled kick coming out. The fresher legs here of the Claremont player, the number 13 in Zadnik. Links up there with a teammate who can get it onto the right boot. This is better build-up play from the Tigers. In possession of it now is Schelliger. Almost steps around the mark. Does so now. Now it's an interesting ball towards a one-on-one. And a great mark. Taken in front of the big sticks too. And
Sophie McDonald, I think that was.
And it actually deserves this shot on goal because that was brilliant build-up play there from Claremont.
Yeah, an excellent mark from Sophie McDonald, just using her body really well and getting her hands to the footy, and hopefully she can finish this one. Definitely within her range.
So yet to kick a goal. Left foot on its way. It won't do it this time, and it misses to the right-hand side. So a minor score. Peel Thunder 4-1-25, Claremont 2-2-14, approaching the midway point of this second term.
Sophie McDonald maybe just needs to work on her kicking, her goal-kicking technique there, or goal-kicking routine.
So no one standing the mark. So two bounces allowed there for the Thunder player in Breslin, and kicks long and high out towards the outer side. Looking into the sun there, the Claremont player. Hand pass comes inboard now to Colgate. She's corralled. So to try and get the hand pass away, they've turned it over. Interesting looking kick coming out of defence from Innes. Awkward, bouncing, bobbling ball at the moment. Players getting to the contest. Good, strong tackling, and the umpire's going to ping the Peel Thunder player. In fact, no, it's the Claremont player, so he's given the holding the ball decision. Just thought that was a good, honest contest at the moment there, but the umpire in a better position than us. So it's brought back in towards the corridor. Charging through with purpose there was White, and holding on. So another free kick going the way of the Thunder. Couple of left-footers in their team. They move the ball out towards the non-broadcast wing. Again towards a 2-on-2. Good, strong tackle late from the Claremont defender, and rightfully earning the free kick for incorrect disposal. So the Tigers, if they can just address this sloppy kicking in the middle of the ground, might be able to hit the scoreboard with better effect. Schelliger, she's had a couple of possessions. Awkward marking contest there for the Peel Thunder defender. Now, this will be an interesting kick. Mark was dropped there through the hands there of Scandrett, but they've got numbers. Colgate onto the right boot. Kicks out towards the lead there of McDonald, and she can't gather, and Peel will breathe a little sigh of relief as they see the ball out of play, right forward pocket, and will have a stoppage. A lot of players in the middle of the ground hands on knees at the moment trying to suck in a few
Getting
breaths.
their breath back. It's definitely going up and down, up and down. There hasn't been the common just stoppage after stoppage in this game, but
It's good to see the free-flowing football at the moment. And remember, it is 16 aside in the WAFLW competition. So ball comes outside 50. Trying to bust her way through there was Major. She was wrapped up in the tackle. Out through the side door. The Tigers can reload again. Juggled effort again from the number 15 in McDonald. Couldn't reel in the mark this time. Numbers favour Peel. So can they use a bit of composure? They bring it out wide. Great spoil on the footy there. Halving that contest was Brooke White. But Peel again, just through sheer effort and will win the ball. Have they got the runners at this contest at the moment? Not at this stage. Superb tackle there laid by Orm, who had a very good first term, Emily.
yeah, great first term. Been a little bit quiet this term, but that was a good tackle from her. Just kicked it to the into the player on the mark there, but would like to see her impact a bit more.
So Colgate just pushed off the contest there. Little toe punt there coming out from the Tigers player in Scandrett. Was to no real advantage. So here come Peel again. Nice little hand pass off to the passenger. Running past there was Briggs, but her kick's going to be intercepted.
Briggs didn't even look up there to see what was in front of her. Just two Tigers waiting for that kick.
So Adele Arnott will have it and goes down the line. Good mark again. So the Peel Thunder, this is Tanisha Anderson, takes the mark. She has kicked one today and just steps around the player at the mark, not once but twice. Can get the effective kick away. And a little bit of high-flying theatrics there at the moment, and the mark's taken by Jade Briggs. So selling candy to not one but two people.
Brooke White just set up in the hole here. See if she can impact this.
Up towards Pugh. It was offhand, so the mark wasn't paid, but she does well to butter up with a tackle. She's begging for the out of bounds on the full. We're obstructed by a giant light tower, so we'll go with the boundary umpire. The umpire has been very good throughout the season, in fact, so the ball will come back in. Important stoppage as we've ticked over 12 and a half minutes played now. Trying to bust her way through the pack there was Shantae Freeman. Bit of a barrel coming out of defence now for the Tigers. 2-on-1 favours the Thunder. Electric little hand pass there. Off to the run now of Breslin. Has one bounce. Pushed off her kick. And it falls into the grateful arms of the Tigers defender in Major. So Major asking a lot there of her teammate into that sun there was Orm. Orm manages to do a pretty effective job. The ball's brought back in towards the middle of the ground. Bonza with a one-handed effort. That opened the door there for Veria to just crash through. They link up beautifully again, the Thunder. They've done that a few times this term. Kicks up to a big pack of players. Busting her way through there and affecting the spoil was Urseg. Down at ground level and the intercepting mark from the Tigers. So both teams wasting good opportunities coming forward.
Yeah, certainly. There hasn't been many deep entries this quarter, but Peel are linking up really well. They're getting a lot of run off their halfback and their mids are providing that run so they can link up, but they're just not finishing off their own good work.
Scandrett puts it straight down the throat of Barnden. She ran into trouble, manages to regather, feeds it off by hand to Duffy. Duffy kicking up towards full forward. The Tigers get numbers back. This is Pugh. Pugh can just peel off the kick and into the arms of Urseg. So the first time we've really seen a mark and then the slowing down of the play at the moment. Urseg puts it very, very high up in towards the slipstream, which is blowing towards the ground. That was Hongo. Hand pass too hot to handle. Tigers still do well to try and get that clearing kick. Awkward spinning ball. And this is Breslin again. A lot of space to operate. That kick falls into sort of a triangle of players at the moment, but just wanting it more there was the number 20 in White. So White can bring the ball through the middle of David Gray's arena. Into the hands there of the Peel player who just kicks around the corner in Shrubsall. Shrubsall puts it out in front of her teammate in Dowson. She's been active, taken in a good tackle. Interesting hand pass. Didn't really have the power to get to her teammate, and that's going to allow the Tigers to get a bit of a run on now. This is Orm. Orm kicks up to a vacant forward 50. Interesting technique coming out onto the bounce there, the defender in McKinley. McKinley's wrapped up in the tackle. Ball dropped there. Still got numbers at the back of this contest. They get a clearing kick through Little. Little out towards the non-broadcast wing and half back, and a chance for us to all take a breath.
Yeah, you especially. You're just working very hard there. But Peel definitely had the numbers back there.
Yep.
Claremont players just didn't push forward hard enough. They're obviously a bit gassed from running up and down the field. So how can they recover?
Good work again from Colgate as they kick around the corner. The Tigers would love a late goal here. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Can they get numbers? They can. This is Bonza. Bonza just looks to just retreat a bit of ground. Looks to set it up from the back, but that kick left a lot to be desired. And Breslin really starting to have an impact from fullback all the way up, almost up towards the wing area now.
Yeah, certainly. Just intercepting the play, and Brooke White doing it similarly at the other end in this play here.
So White has had a tremendous term. She reads the play so well, and again, cuts off another further foray forward for the Thunder. Yeah,
she's just managing to get herself as the loose defender. She's, as the peel, an extra peel goes into the contest, she's just sagging off the back of the contest and just reading where the ball's going to land.
Colgate met front on, and we reset the number ones coming together. That's Grieve. Hand it back to the umpire. Waste no time. One down by McDonald. They link up by hand. That's the number 2 of Orme. Her kick straight through the hands of the Thunder forward. Couldn't turn and collect that ball there was Timmers, and that allows the chance now for the Thunder to clear, but it could only be momentarily. Hongle went in. Oh, that was a high shot there on the Tigers player in from Hardy, rather. The umpire's just letting them play at the moment. So this is Grieve. Grieve kicks up to the one-on-one contest. Oh, through the arms there of the Peel player in Malloy. That's probably the only thing she's done wrong this afternoon. However, she meets her opponent again in a good tackle. The Tigers get the clearing kick into the fortuitous arms of McDonald. So 1 minute and 10 seconds to play. And they move it laterally. Valentini very close and over the boundary line. And Scandrett reluctantly hands it back to her opponent. So Freeman. A chance for the Thunder to register the final score of this half. No marks taken. No one at home for the Thunder, and another intercepting mark for the Tigers. Now, if they move it quickly, they've got 40 seconds to hit the scoreboard themselves. Bit of an interesting kick back in towards the corridor. Peel with the numbers, ends up in the hands of Grieve. Now, Grieve will go further forward, looking for Dowson, but she's outpointed, and a goal-saving mark on the last line of defence taken by Claremont, and they chip it towards right half back. And as you can see by the body language of White, experience just saying slow it down as she brings it down the line. 10 seconds to go in the half. Hongle won it down with the right hand, but the Tigers will probably run out of time at the moment. Ball in the hands now of Arnott. Goes one way then the other and kicks up towards right half forward. And that mark acrobatically taken right on the halftime siren from Shrubsall. And there it is, the main break. And an entertaining game which had 5 goals combined in the opening term. We only added 1 to that in this quarter, but it is at the main break. Emily Johnson, 4-1-25, the Thunder, Claremont 2-3-15. Sum up your thoughts very briefly on the first half.
First half, it's a game of ping pong, really, especially that second quarter, just back and forth. Lots of free play and free run. I think the team that will run out most of the game, that can run out for the longest, hardest for longest, will get this one.
Some very quick messages. When we return, we'll have a look at some of the highlights of this action-packed round 13 game. It's the home side clinging to the lead. It's the Thunder by 10, half-time here in Mandurah.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
It's a high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, well, didn't want to keep her just maybe for a while. You're lately.
just great to be back in the West. I've obviously been over in Sydney for a couple of years, and to be home in the nice weather and even better in the blue and gold is fantastic. Yeah, I was an inaugural part of the Giants squad in the first year, so been over there for the last 3 years and I guess experienced what it's like to be part of a new team and building something from the ground. So we've got time now, we're in the competition, we can build towards something really special, and I think that comes off the back of the first couple of years and just creating somewhere that everyone wants to be and play some good footy.
Welcome back to the first half highlights, round 13 WAFLW action, and it is the home side, the Peel Thunder, leading Claremont 4-1-25 to 2-3-15, and that is the third goal of the afternoon for young Bailey Malloy, who kicked 2 in the opening term, Emily Johnson, and really the Tigers have had no answer for her.
No, not really. She hasn't done a whole lot wrong, just dropping a little chest mark there, but there was 3 Tigers players around her. So very good game from the young player for her.
Tanisha Anderson, the other goal kicker for the Thunder. Emily Bonza and Sarah Garstone, the 2 goal kickers currently for Claremont, who had a lot of forward 50 entries but just couldn't capitalise in the second term.
Yeah, getting a lot of shallow entries, not a whole lot inside the 30 metres, so they just need to work on controlling that 40 to 50 out and then getting it over that
Their
mark.
ball movement from half back to half forward was much slicker in that second term. They were butchering it in the first quarter, but again, some interesting decisions when they got inside 50.
It's, inside 50, and even that kick from half forward, it's just a kick and hope. It needs to be a directed kick. Laura Pugh does it so well. Just takes an extra second and hits a target. That's all they need to do. Just lower the eyes a bit and actually hit up a target and build up to their forward entries.
Just having a look at some highlights. Chloe Colgate really coming to the fore in that second term, racking up a lot of possessions. Laura Pugh was a little more quiet after a double-digit sort of possessions in that first term. So a lot of work to be done by Claremont if they want to get back into this game. 4-1-25 to 2-3-15. Well, the girls in the State Academy have been preparing for AFLW selection for season 2020. Let's take a look at their progress.
Absolute thanks to both Adam Selwood and his team and Darren Fry and his team. This program this year has been 12 months in the making. Coffees and meetings and some heated discussions, some heated valuable discussions between the 3 parties. They've arrived at a result which is great for WA footy, our young females now, well ahead of where they would be without the involvement of our clubs. Eagles been fantastic, access to Luke Dwyer and Adam Selwood, Jan Cooper and all the education, LD and Easy. Then over at the Dockers the same, Trent Cooper, Emily Bell, Lisa Webb and Kate Starr. So the kids are getting an experience at AFL level, and in Fremantle's case at an AFL venue, and in the West Coast case totally supported by the West Coast staff over here at the Showgrounds. Over at Freo, you can see Gemma Horton at work, Cara Donald, I've seen her in the gym as she goes through her rehabilitation, and then she gets to coach them out on the ground, training with Philippa Seth, seeing how she attacks. Hayley Miller was running around with the girls the other night. It's just an awesome experience.
You can see the development even over just 5 training sessions that they've improved, and in the game on the weekend to get to wear an Eagles or Dockers jersey and to play your heart out. I think that's something that's pretty special and something that they'll take through their footy career.
Some tremendous work being done there in the State Academy, and obviously the girls preparing for their AFLW selection, and the people's champ, Clint Degebrot. taking a lot of the airtime there.
Oh, loves a chat, does Diggers.
Yeah, and Ellie Lampkin, wonderful work going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, doing fantastic work and having, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, there was a part-time female talent manager or high-performance programs manager, and now they've got 2 full-time staff, and I think there's others as well that do a lot of work in that area. So lots of commitment from the WA Football Commission, and I think seeing the girls from those programs play in this WAFLW competition, it's obviously working, and I think it's a bright future.
Yep, and also completing that pathway now from grassroots level now to the AFLW. Let's have a look at the 2019 ladder. Subiaco clearly out in front, 4 points at this stage, but East Fremantle's percentage, they're snapping at their heels at the moment. Swan Districts, they're my smoky for the flag in 2019. Now, Claremont, you can see the significance of this game. They're stuck on points with Swan Districts, a game in hand, but that percentage that we mentioned pre-game, 66.77. So when they've won, they've scraped over the line, and when they've lost, look, home ground advantage is going to be so crucial come finals time. Claremont 4 wins, 1 loss at home. East Fremantle are 4-2, Subi are 3-1, and Swan Districts 4-2. Now, even though we've got a 5-team competition, home ground advantage come the business and the pointy end of the season is going to be crucial. So the next 3 rounds, so key.
Yeah, absolutely. Just being comfortable in your own environment. Your parents are probably more likely to come down and watch you if it's closer to home, that kind of thing. So definitely a lot to play for. You'd think Subiaco would finish top of the ladder, and then it's just the East Fremantle, Swan Districts and Claremont just battling it out for those 2nd, 3rd and 4th positions.
Massive game next week because Claremont take on Subiaco. So if Claremont can get over the line, still a bit of work to do in our broadcast game today. But they take on Subiaco, as we said, next week. And then Peel Thunder take on Swan District. So we're actually going to be back here in Mandurah next week to witness that game. And could be, if it stays as it is, a chance for Peel Thunder for the first time to notch up back-to-back wins. So we're going to take another very short break. When we come back, we will begin the 3rd quarter. How will the Tigers respond? Top 2 position up for grabs. They currently trail by 10. We'll be right back.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
It's a high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, well, didn't want to keep her just maybe for a while. You're lately in a hurdle. Well, I feel that day.
It's great to be back in the West. I've obviously been over in Sydney for a couple of years, and to be home in the nice weather and even better in the blue and gold, it's fantastic. Yeah, I was an inaugural part of the Giants squad in the first year, so been over there for the last 3 years and I guess experienced what it's like to be part of a new team and building something from the ground. So we've got time now, we're in the competition, we can build towards something really special, and I think that comes off the back of the first couple of years and just creating somewhere that everyone wants to be and play some good footy.
Well, you've joined us in perfect time because the home team, the Peel Thunder, just warming up underneath our noses here out onto the ground. The ground a little bit soggy under feet, but it hasn't stopped the slick ball movement of the Peel Thunder outfit, who are looking to register their first win. They've come into this round 13 fixture, Emily Johnson, 0-4. We said what a young list that they've had, but this could be a monumental scalp for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Their body language at just running out here is very positive. I'm sure Adam Dancy's given them a bit of a rev up at half time to get them refocused. You spoke earlier, they were the first quarter specialists. They backed it up in the second quarter. Now they just need to back it up in this third quarter, just one quarter at a time, and just they're building a game and they've got momentum.
It's tough to do, but for a young team, isn't it? Running out of legs when there's more experienced opponents. Who needs to lift from Claremont at the moment? Because their body language coming off the ground was sort of a look of maybe more surprise that they were trailing at the major break. Would you agree?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of frustration might be creeping in. I think their back line isn't working as it usually is. They've had a slick back line for majority of the season, but they've thrown in a few changes, and I don't think it's worked. Or they just need to find a settler. Sarah Garstone hasn't had she's kicked a goal but hasn't had the impact that they would have wanted up forward. Maybe chuck her back just to steady the flow there, and then find someone that can score.
Could it be a potential change to put Laura Pugh back across half back for that bit of composure as well? Because they've been beaten over the top. 2 of the 3 goals that have been kicked by Bailey Malloy have basically been unmarked in the goal square. Yeah,
I think the first thing is just to man up Bailey Malloy. Might be the first trick, but I think Laura Pugh has played a bit of footy along half-back. She certainly did at West Perth last year and absolutely cleaned up. So it might be worth just... Are you robbing the midfield then of an opportunity to win clearances and use the ball effectively?
A bit of a sort of a 2-prong attack to try and nullify Abby Barnden. They started to neutralise that ruck duel in the second term. Would you agree, the Claremont Tigers? Yeah, certainly. I think Bella Zadnik certainly stepped up in that second quarter, using her leap and also doing it around the ground. But Abby Barnden, just to her full credit, just keeps fighting. She doesn't play like a ruckman. She plays like a midfielder or a halfback. She just happens to be in the ruck. But she's doing a fantastic job, and we'll keep seeing her do more and more, and hopefully she can influence this game a bit. Unusual scenes at the moment. We're on screen right now, a tight-knit group, Peel Thunder in the goal square to our left. The Claremont Tigers have not reappeared from the dressing rooms. No, it's unusual as well. They usually get out and do a little bit of a warm-up before they start the second half, but there's the empty end there, as you can see, the lonely magpies with the goal umpire there. But yeah, still waiting. I think the umpire's actually gone and told Claremont to hurry up. Maybe they can't hear, or maybe they don't know the timing. Maybe we'll put it down to that. Well, the Peel players dispersing from their huddle, and here they are now. The Tigers better late than never. You said they rang in a few changes coming in to this round. Maybe taking Peel for granted, potentially. Potentially. Just they obviously know that they've got a spot in the finals. So a chance to rest or to try different game plans? Yeah, maybe try different things and see what works. They've obviously struggled up forward for this year and last year. So still trying to find that key and that fire starter. So maybe throwing the team around and mixing it up a bit provided that, but they didn't score in that second quarter, and just looking like they have all year. They just need to find someone that can score for them consistently in their forward line. Yeah, having a look at their goal kickers, Brooke White's just kicked 6 this year. Spanos has kicked 2. Alana Dickey's kicked 5 throughout the season. Emily Bonza's kicked 4 now. She's kicked 1 in this, but only 3 coming in. So, and Bonza, you wouldn't probably say is a stereotypical forward. No, not at all. I think this is the first game that she's started in the forward line at least, and played majority forward. She's usually in the midfield and she usually plays that defensive mid as well and runs through, so doesn't get a whole lot of time near the goals. So the sunlight rapidly fading here. However, the hopes of the Thunder rising. They lead by 10 points as we start the third term under the floodlights here at David Gray's Arena, the wonderful city of Mandurah, as the ball comes up. And second verse, almost like the first, as it's one down again by Barnden. So the Thunder, can they extend? They haven't led by 12 points or more throughout the afternoon. As the ball spills out the back of the pack, they can enter inside 50. Hongel will try and chase this one down. Big, heavy collision, but she did brilliantly to keep her feet, and a sensational little pass, just clearing her defensive line at the moment. It's these balls that need to be won by the Tigers, and they managed to do so here, but the ball just pitches at the feet there of the leading player in Garstone, and they turn it over with the last touch rule. So into the hands now of Little. So Little, right between the cones there, just chisels off a little pass. This is Dowson assessing her options. She goes further down the line to a 2-on-1. Hongel again halves the contest. Another stoppage.
Just interested to see how Claremont's set up here. They're trying to create the loose behind this stoppage, so obviously so they can run through, and Peel equally doing it on the other side.
Thoughts there of our expert, Emily Johnston. Matt Chechen's here. It's great to have your company throughout this inaugural season. Thanks again to Optus and Bupa, wonderful supporters of grassroots footy and women's football as well. As the ball comes in now for the Tigers, they can kick around the corner. That was from Timmers. High ball, but it's going to be marked. So just what the doctor ordered, and a chance for a set shot and a gettable goal for Sophie McDonald. Now, we saw her earlier effort. Let's see if she can do better.
Judging on her first one, this might test her.
And the breeze just noticeably picking up now, so she'll be sort of kicking into maybe a one-goal breeze. We'll see how she fares with the left foot. Absolutely gun barrel straight. And the Tigers can bite off a little bit of this lead now. They're back within one straight kick. And that bit of a chaos ball, but well read by McDonald, getting to that drop of the footy. Yeah,
definitely well read. And just knowing that McDonald is such a strong contested mark and getting it to her nice and quickly. So she just back her to beat her opponent. Her opponent is Taylor Breslin.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to beat, but she did a terrific job there.
And 5 centimetres in height as well, and used every single one of them in that marking contest. So the ball's back in the middle. It'll be Barnden, who has really dominated. She had a sensational first term, and then Zadnik really stepped up for the Tigers to keep the game close. So the ball comes up, and it'll be interesting to see who wins this clearance. And it's going to come off the back of the Bullseyes. Run down, and the good tackle there was Dowson, but the Thunder can get a sort of relieving kick at the moment, but only into the hands there of Orm. Orm comes inboard. Now this is Colgate. Has to kick from the telephone booth off one step up towards centre half forward. The Thunder again with numbers. It could be coming back, and an uncontested mark by Colgate. I've loved her work. She's been consistent across 2 and a bit quarters. Moves the ball effectively to Zadnik. Zadnik out towards the lead, and the strong mark taken again by McDonald. Now she's proving to be a handful. Now too far out to score. There is a vacant square. She elects just to do the team thing and chips it onto the chest of the leading player. It was a hold or a mark. Take your pick. But that's Garstone, who managed to just lead her opponent to the footy, and a good mark. Chance for back-to-back goals. And we haven't been able to say that very often this afternoon, Emily, about the Tigers, as she drops it onto the right boot and puts it through. And within the blink of an eye, in fact, 3.5 minutes, the Tigers have the lead.
Yeah, it's a couple of quick goals there. Have done what Peel did in that first quarter. Andrew De Loretto might have had a few stern words with them at halftime, but really good awareness from the Claremont players and Sophie McDonald there. She obviously knew she didn't have the distance. They knew she didn't have the distance, so they pushed back hard, and then Sarah Ghostone coming back at the foot and taking a strong mark.
Coaching staff might elect to just throw the second half warm-up out the window because they literally ran from the changing rooms onto the ground and have kicked 2 goals unanswered.
Ready to go.
Yep. So 4.25 minutes, 18 minutes, no time added on if you've just joined us. 16 aside also are the rules here in the WAFLW inaugural season for 2019. Now Zadnik back onto the ball. The Tigers through Pugh with a sweeping hand pass, but back down the throat of the opposing ruck, who plays the 1-2. Interesting handball coming out wide. Closing down there is Orm. Orm lost the football. Good secondary tackle there laid by Timmers. And the Tigers can load up again. Now, no one forward of that kick. It'll just try and trickle in and take it over. Otherwise, that would have been a turnover. So good work there from the Tigers player in Garstone, forcing the ball in.
She's had a good start there, Garstone. Good start to the quarter after a pretty quiet first half.
Yep. Has kicked 2 for the game as the ball comes in. Claremont with a 2-point edge. They trail by 10. Interesting athletic work there done by Colgate. Looks to just centre the play. A couple of bodies get pinballed out of that contest. Bit of room to operate now. A bit of a run-off halfback now. This will be White. How will the ball sit for her? Kindly, but she couldn't evade the would-be tackler. Chain of hand passes now, sees it in the hands of Scandrett. She can go inside 50 again. That was probably a gettable mark from Bonza. Couldn't complete that in the end. Spun in the tackle there was Arnott. Got an effective hand pass away, but Peel again just getting numbers to the contest. So an interesting spinning ball in towards the middle of the ground, gathered by Briggs. Briggs kicks them further forward, but there's no one at home for the Thunder. So it's going to allow the Tigers to mop up. Good closing speed there from the Thunder player. The Tigers, just through sheer will of numbers, ends up in the hands now of Pugh. How does she use the football? Pretty effectively this time. Bonza maybe had her arms chopped. The umpire didn't think so. Tries to butt her up, but she's dumped in a good strong tackle. Here come the Thunder again. Big pack of players. Off hands into the fortuitous arms there of Hardy. Kicks them further forward. Off to the leading goal kick of the afternoon in Malloy. Can she gather? Instead, she elects to go Paul Pogba style off the deck. They look to centre it. It's an awkward spilling ball for Dowson. She lost her feet. Pretty slippery underfoot there. And really, the Tigers were probably all against the odds there, and they managed to somehow mop up, Jono.
Yeah, Bailey Malloy, I think she thought she'd already kicked the goal maybe. She just had to collect the ball. Just bend over, pick it up. She had about 30 metres of space, but just an awkward bounce there, the lovely oval-shaped ball.
Yeah, and elected to go off the deck. And that's a poor kick coming back inboard. So intercepting mark there. Good tackling, but just getting her foot to the ball there was Barndon. Out towards that wing. Overrunning the footy was Grieve. Grieve tries to go with a second effort. Ran into her own teammate in the end in McKinley. Ball somehow jarred loose. Smothered. That was good work there from the Tigers player in Dickey. Can kick out towards the Hayden Ballantyne wing. Trying to halve the contest there for the Tigers is Timmers. Timmers out towards Bonza under the close watchful eye of the Thunder opponent. Bonza still on the scene, but she's pushed over the football into the hands now of the Peel player in McKinley. Try to get it through Pugh. No prior opportunity as they play stacks on, and the umpire will finally call for the ball. Both teams taking no quarter. They're going in hard.
Yeah, it seems like this game has gone up a notch here in the last few minutes, and you're certainly feeling it, calling the action.
I am drawing breath as we have another holding the ball decision, but it's a credit to both teams. They don't want to dilly-dally with the football at the moment, and we've seen it flowing from end to end. So here come the Tigers again, and they'll go inside 50, up towards a one-on-one. Awkward spinning ball again. This will be the number 5 in Breslin. Will she rush it through? She can't. She's wrapped up in a tackle finally. Throws it onto the goalpost illegally, said the umpire. So good work in the forward line again from Sophie McDonald. And despite being a left footer, you would think that she could add to her total of 1 goal this afternoon.
Really smart there, but unlucky from Breslin. Just placed the ball on the ground and then hit it. She needed to try and dispose of it correctly. It was a holding the ball decision there.
In one sort of clear motion as well. So she was up against it, but McDonald gets her second. Good forward line pressure, and that is the first time either side has kicked 3 unanswered goals this afternoon. So Claremont skip away. 5-3-33. They flip this lead, which was 10 points to the Thunder at the main break, to 4-1-25 the Thunder. So we did question whether they'd have the legs to run out. Now, the breeze is sort of dying down, but they all need to get the next goal to stem this flow.
Definitely. Just need to win the clearance here. They've come in hard, and they also need to keep their body language up. As soon as they start dropping their head, they do have a young side, could be swayed by that, so they can't drop their heads. They need to keep fighting and just finish off this quarter nice and strong.
So ball up, won by Zadnik. Trying to gather there was Grieve. And Claremont will be happy with the stoppage. Hongel has lifted her work rate in this early stage of the third term. Zadnik, superior spring this time. Awesome work there just to gather. Almost through that. In fact, the Peel coaches next to us were baying for the free kick. It wasn't forthcoming, and we've got another ball up. So I really like the athleticism of Zadnik. Great spring.
She's got a great spring. There's a great photo from a couple of years ago. She's got her knee across another girl's chest, which is very exciting. I think it's on her Instagram feed, so she'll like that one. But definitely athletic, spends a fair bit of time in the gym.
Yep.
But yeah, a great ruck asset as well as Paris Lilly, who obviously isn't playing today.
Yep. Well done there from the number 6 in Sabrina Duffy with that clearing kick. Showed a clean pair of heels. So another chance to see Zadnik taking on Barnden. Barnden won it down this time, but Zadnik at ground level recedes a bit of ground with a hand pass. Kicking hurriedly was Scandrett. Looks as though they're going to turn it over. Bit of a 1-2. Duffy back to a teammate who has to kick off one step to a 2-on-1 that favours the Tigers. Putting a head over the footy there was Arnott. Taken into the tackle. No, not in the back. And lays a good secondary tackle. And as we said, the tackling pressure really rising in this third term as Wrigley, unfortunately, couldn't get out of that tackle. Ball comes back up. Zadnik uses her body this time. Won it down with the left hand. Bit of volleyball at the moment. Ends up in the hands of Grieve, and she took a high shot. Now, the umpire's not going to allow the advantage for Duffy, and she'll hand it back to Grieve.
Just gives Claremont to slide back. Oh, great lead, though.
Yep.
Good hit-up kick.
Yep, and a good chiselled pass as well. This is Innes. So Innes goes by right boot, up towards right half forward. Thunder player almost taken without it. Kicking around the corner under a bit of duress was Duffy. And Claremont see the ball over the boundary line. Running out of tarmac, 5-3 to 4-1. 8 points the margin. And inside 7 minutes remaining in what they deem the premiership quarter. And we've seen this scoring stall, unfortunately, for Peel. As the ball comes back in. One down by Zadnik, this time with two hands. Hand pass was smothered coming out, looking for Colgate. Now the umpire calls for the footy.
Duffy's getting plenty of attention from Brooke Hongel there in that stoppage, and just wearing her like a glove.
Yep. So again, Peel just trying to gather that slippery footy at the moment. That was good skill shown there by Wrigley. Kicks up towards centre half forward. This is Innes. She's taken in the tackle. Claremont now with numbers. Oh, good secondary tackle. Now the umpire does reward it. So it was there, not once but twice. So not giving up on the play there was Emma Innes. And she'll have it probably 3 kicks from goal as the breeze starting to pick up a little bit, just slightly favouring to the right of screen. Juggled attempt there, not paid by the umpire. And halving of the contest there as the Claremont player and Urseg hands it back to the umpire. Peel need the next goal. It's important. They've had 3 unanswered kicked on them in this third term. It looks as though they're going to lose a bit of ground coming back inside 50, and the Peel player has been held off the footy, much to the bemusement of Brooke White. Not sure if it was there.
I think the Peel players pushed back onto Brooke White to make it look like Brooke was holding her.
Yep.
But smart play.
So this is Thayer. I haven't called her a lot today, but that was a lovely kick, just putting it in that empty space and charging out, taking the mark is Tanisha Anderson, who did kick one in the early stages. In fact, she kicked one in the first term, so she'll come in. And don't the Thunder need this? Right foot kick is dead straight, so they respond. They finally stop the bleeding. 3 unanswered goals now has ended, and Tanisha Anderson has her second of the season and the second of the game, and that was really a tremendous kick coming inside forward 50. They've done a better job of that, just not as many forward 50 entries as Claremont.
Yeah, definitely doing a better job with those marks that they get at the 50 and then waiting for that lead-up player. Claremont have done the scrambled ball, but Tanisha Anderson has taken her fair share of marks this afternoon, and that one again, just a beautiful lead and just split the pack in half.
So exactly 4 minutes remaining in this third term. Floodlights working overdrive at the moment, so the fourth quarter, we've setting the stage for what's going to be an epic ending to this game. Claremont just looking for momentum coming in. They were belted last week. They're trying to respond against the team that sits at the foot of the table at the moment that are really taking it to the Tigers this afternoon. Ball comes back up. One down there by Barnden. The Thunder will come forward again off the left boot there of Freeman, kicking out to a bit of a vacant area between the wing and half forward. Now can Grieve just elects to go off the deck in the end, almost through the legs there of Major. Did well, kept her composure. However, hand pass was chopped off. Can Innes keep the ball alive? She did. That was well done. She was in confined space and a great mark.
I think that's Hardy there with a fantastic mark.
It was, and the fact that Innes really towed that boundary line there, she was running out of tarmac and fast and managed to just get it onto the right boot. So a chance to go back to back. Hardy with the right boot, right to the teeth of goal, and just misses. So a minor score. That cuts the margin back to 1 point, 5-3 to 5-2, and the skills on show again.
I tell you what, these Peel girls and the Claremont girls definitely don't want to take their time when they're taking their set shots. They get on with it pretty quickly. They do have 30 seconds, but certainly not using it. Getting it probably done in 10 seconds.
Good mark by Breslin. Going back with the flight of the ball. Lowers the eyes, brings it back to Grieve. Grieve assessing options. She's got a runner coming past on the right. Going to ignore her. So a bit of slow play instead. Gives it back to Breslin. Breslin can load up. Bit of an awkward spinning ball, and getting back, taking the intercepting mark for Claremont was Valentini. Comes wider with the kick, but it ends up into the hands of Grieve. Grieve is corralled. Feeds it off by hand back towards Freeman. Still mucking around with the ball at the moment. This is Dowson. Dowson back to Grieve. Grieve has to hand pass coming back there. The 1 and the 11 combining. That was Whale.
Push
and
them back 60 metres.
Well, they've gone 60 metres running the wrong way. And finally, into the hands now of Carter. So Carter brings it back right underneath the scoreboard and into the arms now of McKinley. Now McKinley, the intended target there was the number 30 in Freeman, but it fell short of her, off a defender's hand, out of play. On the Hayden Ballantyne wing, 5-2 to 5-3. That was a very weird series of events there, that build-up play from the Thunder.
Yeah, but they managed to work it out very well and then hit up. They went back 60 metres and then come back the other way quite quickly.
So the mark taken at centre-half back from the Thunder. This is Little. Little steps around the player on the mark and kicks it to an opponent. Uncontested is Brooke White. So defensive edge of the Bullseyes will look smack bang into the middle of the ground, or could sort of mark that probably should have been taken. So she asked a lot of herself now, was Arnott, but it's going to work out okay for the Tigers as they kick up towards the intended target of Garstone. That ball bounced over her head. Now this is a dangerous kick back towards Breslin, but she took a good mark. And if she didn't, it could have opened the door there for the Tigers to sneak in for their fourth major of the term. Now is that 50? Yes, said the umpire. So ill discipline this time from Hardy has given it away. A bit of push and shove. We don't mind a bit of that, but there's going to be a 50-metre penalty. And gathering the ball now will be Arnott, who will be walked right to the teeth of goal, and just exactly what the Thunder didn't need in that situation.
Yeah, certainly a bit of ill discipline there. Tried to affect the contest, but just managing to get her high then. Bit unlucky.
I've already put it in the book as Arnott slams it through, their fourth goal of the term. Bit of breathing space now, back out to 7 points, and really through a lack of discipline, Arnott gets her first. So
yeah, that's not
doubled
what
her
Peel
season
wanted.
tally. Yeah, she's got 2, predominantly an on-baller. She had a great first term.
She always gets plenty of the ball. Just the usage can be an issue sometimes, but her second half has been outstanding.
So the timing, really, really poor if you're a fan of the Peel Thunder. We turn for home. It is three-quarter time here at David Gray's Arena. It is 6-3 to 5-2. The Tigers turning a 10-point deficit into a 7-point lead. How will the final term pan out? The Tigers looking to jump up to third on the ladder. Just 18 minutes of footy will remain. Fourth quarter underway very, very shortly. We'll be right back.
If you need it live streamed, you need Front Row Screens. Visit frontrowscreens.com.au.
Nature knows it's better to be part of a group than out on your own. To be surrounded by others whose sole purpose is to keep you safe and well. At Bupa, we call it Members First. A network of thousands of healthcare providers, all there for you. Search Bupa Members First.
It's a high ball. Don't you diddle, don't you daddle, you better skedaddle. You need to run for your life. Well, like Virginia Creeper, we didn't want to keep her, just maybe for a while. You're lately.
it's great to be back in the West. I've obviously been over in Sydney for a couple of years, and to be home in the nice weather and even better in the blue and gold is fantastic. Yeah, I was an inaugural part of the Giants squad in the first year, so been over there for the last 3 years and I guess experienced what it's like to be part of a new team and building something from the ground. So we've got time now, we're in the competition, we can build towards something really special, and I think that comes off the back of the first couple of years and just creating somewhere that everyone wants to be and play some good footy.
Three-quarter time here at David Gray's Arena in Mandurah, and after having a 10-point lead at half-time, the Peel Thunder, looking for their first home win and just their second win of the 2019 WAFLW season, have seen that lead evaporate. Matt Chechen's calling all the action and kicking through that major there and getting the ultimate start in the third term for the Tigers. Sarah Garstone, she's kicked 2 for the game, and Emily Johnston, my co-commentator, has witnessed a bit of a resurgence in that term from the Tigers.
Yeah, certainly. Just getting the ball nice and forward. Sophie McDonald was pivotal down there for him as well, just casually strolling in and slotting that one. But yeah, to Peel's credit, they fought back in that kind of after that 7-minute mark. They kind of wrestled it back on their own terms, just unable to put it on the scoreboard.
And then the Thunder getting a goal from a nice mark from Tanisha Anderson, getting them back within 1 point, and then some ill discipline virtually on the sound of the third three-quarter time siren has given that edge back to the Tigers. Now, how crucial will that be?
I think it's vital. Their first game they played against each other, it was 3 points in it.
Back in round 3,
I think obviously it's going to be a close one again, so that one could prove very, very costly for Peel Thunder.
As we having a look here, the second goal of the afternoon from Tanisha Anderson, both at that end of the ground, one in the first and one in the third. And having a look at Arnott, she's had a great game today. Katie Jane Grieve, as we just see laying the tackle there, really came to life in that term as well at the coalface, winning the footy for Peel and keeping them within touching distance after giving up that lead at half-time.
Yeah, certainly. Katie Jane Grieve has had a great game all day. Duffy gets a lot of the credit because she gets the clearances, but Katie Jane does a lot of body work in there and frees up space for Duffy, but has managed to lay a few tackles and really put the pressure on those Claremont midfielders.
Live images at the moment, that is the Tigers' three-quarter time huddle. It's good to see them out on the ground at half-time. They needed a bit of a hurry on from the umpires. So smiles all around there for the Thunder. As we said, one of the younger lists at the moment, and they've put up a great fight tonight. And as darkness begins to set in at the moment, under lights here at David Gray's Arena, we'll be back here next week as well to commentate their game against Swan Districts. And I'll tell you what, if a team epitomises a hot and cold output for the season, it is Swan Districts.
Yeah, I think I'll say suffered from the fact that they have to rotate their AFLW players in and out each week, so they haven't been able to
gel and
maintain a consistent list. But I think going into finals, they can play their strongest team. So, like you said, they're your dark horse.
Yeah,
and I
the
think
Smokies. I'm impartial. I'm a big Perth Demons fan, but obviously with no team in the inaugural season. And look, the competition's going gangbusters, isn't it? South Fremantle potentially joining the competition in 2020. And as we said, that pathway for female football now become complete. And we had a look at the academy also, and having a look at some of these younger players for Peel, the game's in a great position at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously there's 5 teams that play in the WAFLW competition, in the league competition. There's 9 in the reserves. And then in the community, there's like 30 clubs or 30 teams in the women's competition, which didn't exist 2 years ago. So just going from strength to strength, and the footy commission are taking it seriously, and it's good to see that it's paying off. Yeah, it is tremendous work at the moment. So the umpire holds the ball aloft, and we start this fourth term. It'll be Claremont to the right. That is the forum end of the ground. What can Peel manage to muster? That was Zadnik, almost a throw out of the middle. It's going to come into the hands there of Dowson. Dowson spun 360 in the tackle. They get the clearance through Grieve. We mentioned her before. Such a wonderful contributor in that last term. This is Hongel, slung in the kick. So the tackling pressure appears to not have subsided at the moment. Pugh, she was phenomenal in that first term. Back to Hongel. They link up now. This is Arnott. Arnott with a 45-degree kick. Puts it out towards the agency there of Timmers.
And running out of room, she's begging for the free kick. It's not forthcoming.
I think begging for the... I touched it, just to make sure it's not a free kick.
There you go. So the ball coming in, as you see, right underneath the Hayden Ballantyne wing. As the ball comes back in, Zadnik, this time outpointed here by Barnden. They work it out now. Peel, Freeman, off to a runner of a teammate who can kick up towards that scoreboard. Bounce of the ball just beat both players from both teams. So into the fortuitous arms there of Lowe. Lowe looks to bring it back in towards the corridor. Pushed off a kick there was the Peel player. That opens the door now for Colgate, and who was taken high and will earn, rightfully so, the free kick. So looks to bring it out wide. That kick's going to drop short, but it was through the hands there of the Thunder player in Hardy. Hongel has come alive in this second half, just breaks through 2 tackles, just gets the right boot to it, but turns it over. So a one-on-one, broadcast wing. Anderson's one of them. Can't keep the ball alive. Also ushering that over the line is Alana Dickey. 5 goals coming into this game. Hasn't had a sniff this afternoon.
No, been playing down back this afternoon. She's played, I think, in most of her career, played down back, but has become a forward and is the forward line coach for Claremont as well, having that playing and coaching role.
Shows off her elite disposal skills there, off towards Zadnik. Now Zadnik puts it out in front of Bonza, pushed off the ball there from Carter in towards Pugh. That was an interesting looking hand pass, almost a
little basketball
pass. Yeah, it was.
there.
We did mention her old man was a former basketballer. They go inside 50. You'd think the first goal, without sounding too cliched, is going to be crucial and a chance for the Tigers as that ball goes out of bounds on the full.
Sophie McDonald taking the kick with her left boot. The distance might be the only thing that troubles her here, with that windsock blowing in her face a little bit.
Kicked 2 goals in the third term to give the Tigers back the lead. She just does the team-orientated thing, and they'll allow her to stroll into the open goal, and it is the number 5 in Bonza. Kicks her 2nd of the game, 5th of the season. That could be curtains for Peel Thunder.
Potentially, but I wouldn't write them off just yet. They have scored quickly in this game, and they've proven it. So we'll see how we go. Claremont just need to keep the foot on the throttle and keep pushing here.
So we mentioned earlier in the call, I think back in the second term, Bonza, obviously not a noted forward, but she's resting there now. She kicked 3 coming into this and has kicked 2 handy goals.
Yeah, very handy, and they might have found something there, Claremont, in the forward line with Bonza, and I don't think it's taken too much away from their midfield, with Laura Pugh absolutely stepping up and Adele Arnott just racking up the touches again today.
Love to have been a fly on the wall at halftime at Claremont, because they really came out with purpose in this third term. Yeah,
a bit of direction there from Andrew De Loretta and the line coaches, and has sorted them out and given them a good edge on this game.
They look to further add to the misery at the moment of the Thunder, who've been competitive throughout at the moment. Good work there from Breslin, just attacking the ball carrier and winning the holding the ball decision. So not giving up on the play, and wrapped up Spanos in a very, very good tackle. So she'll have the free kick at full back. Looks to assess her options and brings it out high and long. No mark taken. Gathered there towards the number 15 and Dowson. She's spun 360 in the tackle, no prior. And Bonza hands it back to the umpire. So 13 points the margin. Biggest lead for Claremont throughout the day. Zadnik's been a big part of that. As she gathers right on cue, but runs into a on-rushing Thunder opponent, and we have another ball up. 4.5 ticking over in this final term. Can Bonza gather it this time? She does. Feeds it off to Pugh. Usually so composed with footy in hand. That one a little too far, and over the head of the intended target, Breslin, with the intercepting mark.
It's been an excellent battle there with Taylor Breslin and Sophie McDonald. Just they're similar height, but Breslin's reading it well and Sophie's using her body well. So it's been an awesome contest between those two. Thoughts
there of Emily Johnson, our resident expert, as the tackles continue to fly in and the free kick given away. So it'll be the Tigers' ball. This is Shelliger. So Shelliger will just look to go in towards the pocket, and that is out of bounds. So turning it over. What can the Thunder muster up? They have to get the next goal to erase this 13-point margin, and they're kicking into a bit of a breeze that has noticeably picked up that windsock, blowing towards the forearm end of the ground. That ball will hang up in the breeze and will be chopped off by White.
So a free one in the middle here. There's a 2-on-1 in the middle, but she wants to go down the line.
Yeah, and she goes very long and high up towards the paint of attacking 50 and just strutting out and taking the mark. Again was Breslin. She came out with purpose, fed it off by hand, and now a bit of run from the Thunder. So a bit of spark is what's needed. They've got Anderson over the top who marks. No one inside forward 50, so she loads up. It's going to be a bit of a foot race, and it is Malloy. Can she get to the footy? Was she taken without it? No, said the umpire. Great tackle inside forward 50 and not rewarded by the umpire, so a ball up. So they had Malloy, who has kicked 3, 2 of them over the top, but they just couldn't get through and evade that tackle at the crucial time. Trying to take it straight out of the ruck there was Hardy. Dumped in the tackle. No Pryor.
I don't mind Hardy taking it out of the ruck there. Maybe looking... I like the idea that you can do it, and when you're closer to goal, it really brings the rucks into the game.
Yep.
And
one of the better rule changes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Have used it myself this year. Not kicked a goal yet, but have tried.
Well, there's still time, hopefully, for you to do it.
Couple more games left, hopefully.
So can the Thunder get back inside 50? It looks so. End over end, inside 50. No one willing to put their body on the line to take the mark. And another ball up right underneath our light tower here. Pitch black now here at David Gray's Arena. It's been lovely conditions for footy, albeit a bit of a soft ground. 7-3 to 5-2. Ball up. Thunder looking for this responding goal. The Tigers have kicked the last 3 of the game. One way then the other. Tight conditions there from Dowson. She can kick up towards the kickoff line. Anderson lending assistance to her teammate. Good work defensively there by Major. Ball still tumbling towards the line and out of play.
Good work. Good body work there from Major. It was a good contest. All she had to do was get the ball to ground and not let her player mark it, and then the cavalry arrived.
The ball comes back in. Cavalry and Majors go hand in hand. Well done, Emily. Is the ball in dispute now in defensive 50? There's Arnott again. Loved her game this afternoon. Be tough to give out the votes. Wouldn't envy that job from whoever has to do that this evening, as the Thunder will look through Innes now to reload. She's got a lot of room to operate. Drop punt inside 50. No clean mark can be taken. The Thunder trying to apply that pressure through Duffy, but it's the Tigers that win that battle, but only momentarily. The mark was dropped. Going back against the flight of the ball was Shrubsall. Was she in the back there? No. Hongel stepped up in this second half, but that's asking a bit too much there of a teammate in Timmers. Is this going to be holding the ball? No.
Really smart there from Hongel. Just didn't over-kick it, but and allowed Timmers to run onto it, but just didn't get the bounce that she was after.
Running jump and spike of the footy there from Barnden. It looks as though they're going to have to reset. No, they won't. The umpire said high shot on Laura Pugh, so she wins the free kick as Arnott just steps off the interchange. Probably bought her own footy today. She's racked it up, as has Pugh. And she peels off the pass, just the required distance there. Orme, she looks to bring it in towards the corridor. All she finds is a Thunder player, however, and another chance for them to reload. But it's Brooke White who pulls out, allows Laura Pugh to just track that footy back. She's running out of room rapidly, but did well. But her hand pass chopped off straight down the throw to Briggs. Now, Briggs just has to kick blindly. There's no one at home, only the Urseg. Now, Urseg ran into trouble. Just got her right boot to ball and the juggled mark taken by Dowson. Now, the windsock just starting to sort of sway towards the left, and she's delaying this entry. So she's going to go back with purpose. This would be one of the kicks of the season if she can do that. Instead, just bites off the 15-metre spearing pass to Grieve and moves the ball without compromising the angle, but a bit of slower ball movement there from Peel.
Yeah, good ball movement here. Just Leah Urseg there, just making the wrong decision. She had the run. All she needed to do was exit out the other side. There was a player out there, but she came back to the contest and kicked it straight to a Peel player.
Greaves' kick was on target, but it just fell short. So Peel, they're running out of opportunities now. They'll go back inside through Wrigley. That's an awkward marking attempt. It's going to go down towards Dowson. She's taking the tackle. This is Briggs. Can kick up towards the kick-off line. Now there's a 2-on-1 favouring the Tigers at the moment. They'll take a stoppage or even a chance to rebound from their back pocket at the moment. So time and space to operate. That was Orme. But the kick is going to be turned over. So again, Thunder, can they capitalise again? Not this time. No marks taken. Hongel, superb. Kicks dangerously, but to a 2-on-1. And, players just going in and too high. Oh, no, it's going to be a free kick. Well, the umpire indicated to Peel and then changed his mind and gives it to Schelliger instead. So Schelliger wastes no time up towards the middle of the ground, and Breslin just crashes the pack again, but that's a blind kick. No marks taken. They really must capitalise somehow. Peel, that's a good smother on the footy. Kicks backwards. I think pushed off her kick, hit the outer side of the ball into the arms of Colgate. Colgate hurriedly in towards the middle of the ground. Fortuitous bounce there. Trying to hand pass to herself was Little. Has to go back and win her own football. How will this one sit up? Sits up beautifully for the Peel player. He just burns off their opponent. Kicks inside 50 through the hands of the intended target. The Tigers have been so good at repelling this attack at the moment, and they'll take a stoppage here as they pack in, and no prior opportunity. Another ball up.
Peel are just so desperate for a mark in there that they're rushing it and they're not thinking about where they're kicking. It's been a remarkable opportunity 10 times, but just can't quite find the target. Just panicking because they want it so badly.
Now the Tigers could be out here. This is Spanos. Hasn't had that much of the football this afternoon. That's a lovely looking pass. And moving the possession now to Timmers. So Timmers goes further down the line. And a juggled mark, not paid. The umpire said it was off hands. So socket off the ground now. This time from Spanos. Gains another 20 metres. This could be curtains here for Peel if they can't. We've sort of repel this attack at the moment, and that's going to be an intercepting mark. So Colgate it is, who marks too far out to score. Called to play on by the umpire, so just pops it up towards the teeth of goal. It's an interesting bouncing footy that's going to go through for a minor score. So Claremont extend their lead, albeit by a minor score. 7-4-46 to 5-2-32. We've got 5.5 minutes remaining exactly in the contest. 14 points the margin, so 3 goals. Can it be done? They kick it out towards the long arms of Barnden. Couldn't reel in the mark. They kick it in towards defensive 50, and that's surely incorrect disposal. The umpire didn't think so. Hand pass coming in, a defence was smothered by Little, and a free kick called by the non-officiating umpire in the end that was standing inside 50.
A hold, I think it was.
Yep, spots the free kick.
On Hongel.
And she has been a shining light, particularly after half-time.
Is that Barnden down stretching her leg with the trainer in front there?
No, Barden's standing on the mark, so it looks to be Emma Innes.
Innes, yep. Hopefully she's okay.
Yep. So
she's holding her knee.
Probably the best result could probably be a cramp potentially, but that doesn't look good. We hope that that's going to be okay for Innes. Had a nice passage of play in the third term.
Couple
near
of
the boundary line.
repeat efforts, and it's good to see that from a young player, but not good to see her being cheered off by the trainers. So hopefully she's okay and she'll be back out there next week.
From South Bunbury.
My old stomping ground.
Yeah, well, it's actually my hometown too, Jono. So obviously some elite athletes have come out of the port city of Bunbury, and the mark's taken by the Tigers player in Spanos. Now she's kicked 2 for the season. Hasn't looked like kicking one this afternoon, but this to put the ribbon and bow on a win surely for the Tigers. So we'll kick from 20 metres, a bang in front, and drops it onto the left boot. The goal umpire dances to the left, but they celebrate her first of the afternoon and a pivotal goal for the Tigers now. They move that margin out to an even 20 points, the biggest for either side of the ball game. 8-4-52 to 5-2-32. So they really have awoken in this second half, the Tigers.
Yeah, certainly. Just epitomised their first quarter, as you said at the start of the season. Slow starters.
Yep.
They took the whole first half to really warm up, but have definitely put their foot on the accelerator in this second half and have not stopped.
So the ball will come back into the middle as Innes was just taken off the ground. We wish her all the best. Hopefully it's not anything too serious as the ball comes back up. Barnden won it down rather. Got to get my English correct. Out towards the teammate in Duffy. Follow-up effort from Barnden. She's met by a tackle. Just fed it off to the runner now of Dowson. Dowson can just look for the 15-metre drop punt, and it is very effective to Tanisha Anderson's kick 2 this afternoon. So a rare shining light for them. She kicks up towards the pocket, but over the head of the intended target. Time now for Lowe to gather. Fed it off by hand now. This is White. Kicks dangerously across the goal because lurking there was Freeman. So Peel will want to try and get numbers there. That's an interesting little toe of the football. Still trying to keep it to the advantage of the Thunder. Kick was smothered and a free kick picked out of the pack, and it's going the way of the home side. This is Thayer, and we'll rush that kick in the end. Asking now a lot of Grieve, who was taken high, so she'll get a chance to go back. And looks to just centre the play. Couldn't find the target. Maybe could have gone back and had an attempt at goal. Copping one there was Duffy. Begging for the free kick from the umpire. Still arguing her case and not forthcoming. The umpires have been good today.
Yeah, they've been quite good. Not too many. They do a great job, the boys in green, and the players like to have their own opinion on each decision as well. So they do a good job to just block that out and get the job done.
That's the beauty of all sport. We won't mention the umpiring in the first test at Edgbaston in the cricket. So there's Hongell in the scene as well. Bonza, they try to link up. Bonza was slung in the tackle, managed to somehow get her boot to the football. Again, Barnden on the bottom of the pack, doing it above head and at ground level as well, and forcing another ball up. Into the waning moments, just over a minute and 15 seconds remaining, 20 points the margin, but probably not an accurate reflection of how the game's panned out.
Certainly not. I think the 20-point margin isn't really deserving. Peel have put up a great fight, and their effort today has been probably the best that I've seen them this year. They obviously came in with the belief that they could win, and it means a lot. But very exciting for Adam Dancy, and I'm sure they can probably get close to the rest of the season as well. Hopefully get another win.
So another Peel player down. We don't like to see this. And just getting to her feet rather gingerly there is Bailey Malloy, who's been one of the better players today, kicking 3 goals in a losing effort. Here comes Grieve. Can she just try and take a bit of sting out of the final margin? She can, but only by a slender margin of 1 point. So within 19 points, 20 seconds remaining as the Tigers will roll on. After that demolition job done by Swan Districts on them last week, they've responded well in recording this win today.
Yeah, certainly. They probably came out with a bit of a point to prove, so wanted to really make sure and let people know that they deserve a spot in that top 4.
And top 2 will be on offer for them next week. They take on the league-leading Subiaco Lions outfit. So the Tigers responding in the second half. The final siren sounds and a 19-point win to the Tigers and a gallant effort, as we said, from the Peel Thunder lineup. Their 10-point lead at halftime evaporated very, very quickly in the opening stages of the third term. But it is the more experienced Tigers lineup recording the 19-point win. 8-4-52 to the Thunder's 5-3-33 as the players go through their formalities of the handshakes. And your summation very quickly of what was a very good second half performance from the Tigers.
Yeah, certainly. Just they got a lot from their midfielders stepping up through. Arnott Pugh and Hongell did her bit. Kate Orme on the wing. Sophie McDonald pivotal in that third quarter. And Emily Bonza as well, proving crucial up forward. And then for Peel, Abby Barnden had a solid day. Sabrina Duffy, I think she would have had the most clearances today, doing a great job. It's good to see her back at full strength after an injury-plagued season. Katie Jane Graves supporting Duffy very well. Bailey Malloy, obviously, with her 3 goals and just looking so dangerous up there. Taylor Breslin cleaning up for them in the back line. And I thought Ebony Dowson had a solid game as well. Missed a goal after a run and 3 bounces, but I think she contributed quite well today.
Yeah, much to like about the young Peel Thunder lineup, as you said, Emily Johnson. Thank you for your thoughts throughout the day. Now, the players just in the huddle at the moment, and the goal umpires signalling that score is indeed correct. I can go through the goal kickers. Firstly, for the victors in the navy blue and gold was Sophie McDonald kicking 2, also Sarah Garstone kicked 2 also. They really came alive in that third term, didn't they, to really wrestle the ascendancy back for the Tigers.
Right. Well, they were in a bit of a precarious position at halftime, but getting 2 goals early and snatching the lead within 4 minutes of the third quarter really put them in good stead.
Emily Bonza kicking 2 goals. She had a little bit of a rest up forward, but again, for a team that struggled to find major goal kickers throughout the season, to have 3 players kick 2 goals is a positive sign heading into that game against Subiaco next week.
Yeah, certainly gives the the coaching group a bit to think about, though. Obviously, what they've tried today has worked.
Yep.
8 goals out, I think possibly one of their highest scores for the season, and six of those goals coming from players that don't usually play in the forward line.
Adele Arnott kicking 1 goal as well. For the losing Thunder, Bailey Malloy was superb. She kicked the first 2 goals of the afternoon, finishing up with 3. And then Tanisha Anderson providing a good target. She's a long body, good athlete, and a fairly reliable mark and kick for goal. She kicked 2 today.
Yeah, great mark, great kick. And again, one of those young talents that just stepping up. They needed someone to fire in their forward line. They had Bailey Malloy do it at ground level. They needed someone to do it in the air, and Tanisha did that really well for them today. So
that final margin, 19 points, and just on screen at the moment, we'll await the Tigers to get in their team huddle. Jono, you're not allowed to sing the club song, but you might be allowed to mouth the words.
I don't know the words anyway, so...
So the Tigers obviously just being addressed at the moment. Much would have been said at half time because the body language and also the way in which they completed the second term left a lot to be desired, but they responded well.
Yeah, I think Andrew De Loretto, the head coach there, wouldn't have been happy with that first half, but surely he's got to be happy with the second half and how they responded. And with their backs up against the wall, they came out far, and there is a few smiles in the group there, so I think you might be happy. So yeah, a good day good day for them. Unlucky for Peel, though. They certainly were up for the challenge, but just couldn't quite get the job done.
Yep. So just having a look at him address his charges at the moment, and not sure whether they might be making their way over for the club song. Next up for Claremont, as we said, next week they will take on Subiaco. Now that bounce time to be decided, so get onto the WAFL website to have a look at what time that game will bounce. But our broadcast game will be Peel Thunder taking on Swan Districts. As I said, one of my smokies for the flag this year, and a team that's gone very hot and cold. I don't think they've gone back-to-back wins so far, Swan Districts.
I'm not sure they had. Certainly halfway through the season they hadn't. They win by a lot and then lose by a lot.
Yep.
But if they can string a couple of wins together, it'll put them in good stead going into a finals campaign.
As we're just having a look, I'm not sure if we can actually pick up the audio. So the players obviously delighted with their efforts today. Tough to pick a best on ground this afternoon. Yeah,
I've been tasked with a job for Claremont with their 5-1 votes, but there was some good, there was solid contributions across the board, and it will be tough, but someone has to miss out if they've played a good game.
So that concludes the team song for the Tigers. As we have a look at some of the highlights from our second half, and thanks again to Optus. In fact, this is the early stages of the game, so it all started superbly. This was the second goal of the game off the right boot there of Bailey Malloy, and then the Tigers trying to get something going forward. They were up against it in the early stages, and there right on cue was Adele Arnott, would surely feature in your votes this afternoon, just depending on whereabouts in the pecking order. But she did well to keep the game alive, I felt, for the Tigers in that first term, because they were right up against it. And also Malloy, thinking about, could have kicked 3 unanswered goals as well. She had a clear path to goal, could have easily have extended that lead in the first term for Peel. Yeah,
certainly. On Adele Arnott, she's been playing a bit of forward, but has been a bit lost there. But I think midfield is her role. She played really well there. She finds a lot of the ball, and when she uses it well, she uses it well.
Just saw some silky footage of Laura Pugh that trying to, sell the handball candy and then putting it onto the right boot. But her skills to see them in tight conditions is a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, certainly, and I think it just shows that next level. She's obviously played a few games for Fremantle, and the only one in Claremont's team today. And there's only, I think, 2 players out there today that have played AFLW, being Taylor Breslin and Laura Pugh. But I think she does a great job, and if some of the Claremont girls can watch that and other players can watch that, just that steady kick takes her time and hits her target.
You mentioned Breslin before. Her intercept marking was a feature of the day.
Yeah, certainly. She does. I miss Duffy as well. She's played and Katie Drangreave played their fair share of.
Good luck getting out of the ground in the next hour. Trying to think of these players to give the votes.
Oh man, it's been a long day. Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about.
Just having a look at the intercept marking
Intercept
of Breslin.
marking.
Yeah.
Yeah, something she does so well, and I think she has proven that she can play forward and back, but they needed her down back today, and she does the job well. An awesome contest between her and Sophie McDonald.
Yep.
I think I want to see them battle it out again.
Yep.
And I don't even think you could pick a winner, but Breslin reads the play so well. If she finds herself a loose man, she fills the holes and she cuts off the ball.
Just saw footage there of McDonald with that left foot kick, turning the tide back in favour of the Tigers. Now, that lady in question that just took that superb mark there, Chloe Colgate, again at the coalface, one of the surely would have had close to 30 touches today.
Yeah, for sure. Chloe is she's a quiet character. She doesn't say much, and she always looks so relaxed when she's out there as well. And she's been a solid contributor for Claremont all year. There she is there, just at the contest, ready to move when she needs to move.
We saw the influence of Zadnik, who, and it's fair to say that the early stages of the game, Abby Barnden was controlling the tempo, particularly from the stoppages in the middle of the ground. But then Zadnik really managed to halve that contest in the third term, and then actually sort of maybe won the day on points.
Yeah, she just, I think, just took a little bit of time to settle into the game, whereas Abby Barnden came out firing. Again, Bella's been a great contributor for the club for a number of years, and she's just going from strength to strength. Just her ability to jump, use her athletic ability, and then find the ball at ground level as well, and get into good spots.
Yep.
She does that really well.
And Anderson with a consolation goal in the end, but that is a wrap for the highlights, and a credible job again done by the Peel Thunder outfit, unfortunately just falling short. But credit must go to the Claremont Tigers today, 8 goals, 4-52, running out victors over Peel Thunder 5-3-33. Just 2 rounds remain now in the season. Emily, we go to round 14. Peel Thunder taking on Swan Districts and Subiaco Claremont. East Fremantle will have the bye and then into round 15. So the top 4 set, but in what order really remains yet to be seen. So thank you for your input, Emily. We've looked forward to your expert comments, and we look forward to your further input moving forward.
Thanks, Matt. It's been a pleasure.
Congratulations to the Tigers on behalf of Emily Johnson. This is Matt Chechen signing off. I look forward to your company back here in Mandurah next Saturday with the Thunder take on Swan Districts. Thanks again to Optus. The 2019 WAFLW season continues to roll. Until then, goodbye.
This WAFLW live stream is proudly brought to you by Optus, proud naming rights partner of the WAFL, and WAFLW, Bupa, proud sponsor of WA football. And the West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams.